Hello guys, today we're going to be using and making use of the remix ethereum.org IDE. It's online one, so you can go to this address, remix.ethereum.org, and you will see it's really cool. It's similar to the VS Code, so with the dark mode and everything. The first time you visit it, you will be prompted with the what would you like to do, your main aim if you're going to be learning Ethereum or Solidity or some other stuff. You will be prompted with some questions. Once you pick it up, you will get something like this. Then we can maybe in another video talk more about it. But the good thing is that it's similar. You have the file navigation and all the file explorer here. And then as soon as you start working on the selected programming language, you will have the playground on the right. So today, what we're going to be doing specifically is how to get the balance of a given account. So I will give you an address of my account and you will say, okay, your balance is a certain amount of Ether. So to do so, you will see we can go to contracts and you have some by default. So D3 comes by default, SOL, storage, owner, ballot. And then you can go ahead and create a new file. So suppose we can go ahead here with this icon, create new file. You can pick it and we will going to call it my balance contract.sol from Solidity. My balance contract, perfect. You know that at the very beginning, on the compiler, you will start getting some warnings about the license that you have to put and which specific Solidity version would you like to use. So what you can do, if you check from the others, at least you can pick the first two lines from any of the given examples. And then in yours, I can put this one, but Solidity, I'm going to use the latest one. And I think the one we're using is here, if you check on the Solidity one, 0.8.26. So we go with that one. 0.8.26. Perfect. We're using the latest one. And you will see that the warning disappeared. And then we're going to call contract. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Good. You can go do it with the magnifying glass, but it's going to take just this place. I'm making it in the entire, with the Command Shift plus to make it in the entire browser. So contract, and I'm going to call it my balance contract. And what we're going to do, add in the curly braces, then here we can put functions, modifiers, variables, and all the things. But what we're going to do is define my address or something just to get the specific address. Then we're going to put a modifier or something to set a function, not a modifier. And then using another function, we're going to get the balance of that specific account. So let's start with string. It's going to be public, so it will be to the public, open there. And we're going to call it it's not string, sorry, because specific is an address type. This is specific just from Solidity. Address public, my address, and we're not going to initialize it. Just leave it there. It's going to be the default, which is 0x0000 bunch of x just to complete the entire address, dimension, and length. And then we're going to have a public method. So function set my address is going to take an address as well, and it's going to be called the input or new value, suppose, new address. And then we're going to be making, this will be public, and nothing else, because we're going to be setting things. You can see that the gas that is going to consume every time, that is really cool from the Remix Ethereum IDE. So you will see how many gas is going to consume this operation when it's being accomplished. And it's simple as saying my address is going to be equals to the value coming as parameter, new address, and you also have IntelliSense. And then in order to check how much Ether do you have there, you can say function get my address balance, something like that. And it's going to take no parameters because it already knows which account we're going to grab it for. But it's important to say that it's a public view because it's not read, it's just view, so it's view only. And then what it's been returning, so returns an unsigned integer, because you will never have negative balance. You can have 0 or more than 0. And then it will be uint. in parentheses, you end. Perfect. And it's as simple as saying every time we ask for that, we're going to be consuming that amount of gas. And it's as simple as return my address, and this comes with Solidity, dot balance. This property comes in with the Solidity programming language, and it's allowed you to check the amount of Ether you have in that specific address. So now when you have it, I have clicked, and I suggest you can do the same, to check the autocomplete. So every time you are typing, you don't need to save the file or anything, and you will be auto-compiling every time. Boom, boom. And when you check the green check, is that everything is passing and it's good. And then you can go to this plane, deploy and run transactions. And here you will see, it give you like a 20, more or less, yeah, suppose 20-ish lines accounted. And you will have, you can see that all of them have 100 Ether. They are all millionaires there. But it's good because with that amount of Ether, you can play and test a lot your things before going in production. And what good thing about doing this online, you don't need to do something locally with VS Code, Ganache, testing with Mocha, using MetaMask and some other tools. Here you have all the entire environment to play with your Solidity smart contracts. So we're going to, you can see that by default, because it's grabbing automatically my latest file that I've been working on, and it's saying that my balance contract is going to be deployed. You know that every time you compile, you get the ABI and the bytecode, and you need it to deploy it to the network. So with this one in place, I'm going to click deploy, and then you have it here. Let's expand it, and you can play with the thing. So if we check my address now, boom, it's just a call. You can see this is really cool because it's all the information, like a login information about it takes. You will see one when you consume some Ether, and when you just the call, so when you are consuming something on the wire, and when you just read only, so the call is just read only, so you are not consuming gas when you are checking. And it's, as I told you before, 0x and a bunch of 0 to complete the entire address. But what we're going to do, we're going to, from the address we have, you can see because this is the address who fire up the contract, it doesn't have 100 Ether any longer. So it has been consumed. It's just a derisory amount, but it's some gas that it has been consumed. So let me copy, and if I copy this one, and now if I set the address, it's going to have even less because we're consuming gas when we're running that operation. I will paste it, I will set the address, perfect, green check because we're consuming gas. Now, if we check my address, that is the value, it's perfect. So 0.0x5b something is exactly this line. And now, if we get my address balance for that account is 999999 and a lot of numbers about way or Ether that we have there. But suppose we want to check another account just to see it. So we're going to say this. This account is going to be the one paying for that investigation of that checking we would like to do. But we're going to check another account. So you can go for a moment here, pick the account, just clicking on the clipboard, copy account. Now that we have it entirely, get back to this one, that is the one that it has deployed the contract. That is why it has less Ether on their balance, on its balance. And now we're going to say, okay, now this is the new address that I would like to check. Set it as my new address. Perfect. We consume gas. That is a green check. Which is the one? Perfect. 0 times of X, A, B, and the rest. And this specific account, which is a new my address value, has a total of 100 Ether and all that amount of weight, which is like a 18 power, I think it is. So it's a huge, huge number. So with this one, you can see how just in a one line of code, once you got it, when you have specifically an address, you can dot balance, and it's going to give you this line, the 13. I'm going to put in a repo. It's going to check, I always put the, so it will be something. I will let you know in the comments, but it will be like a check Ethereum check Ethereum account balance with Solidity or something like that, and this code will go there. So you can grab it, paste it entirely in your contract, deploy it, and then Let me know how it goes. If you like the video, click on the like button, and if you really like it, click on subscribe, because you will be notified when new content like this one and like other topics that we have been covering will be published. Take care and have a good day.